Exactly. And right after that surreal, figurative landscape, I did the brown period. It's true. It's true. Yeah, my son has a bit better memory than that. It's true. I went into the brown period. Yes. Yes, I was inspired with that one. I mean, the color of the ochre. I was, just in terms of exploring reality, and grounded in reality, but through the use of my imagination and the use of that. I didn't want to use color at that time. Yes, because I was really, thinking at that time. On these trips that when the Dominicans and the Dominican Republic had to go through the ocean, because they were in such a poverty, and they had to travel to Puerto Rico, and that was kind of like, I was thinking about that. So as I was doing those paintings, the brown period, I didn't want to use colors. I was just trying to express my feelings on those events, which I call in Spanish travesías. Yeah, travesías, exactly, like traversing. Yeah, traversing through the ocean, and which all it was such suffering, and I didn't want to use color for that because it was this feeling like what would it be like, in this situation. So the brown period was basically inspired in that type of feeling, and that's why I was not using color at that time. Yeah, so then I went back to color, and I went through another stage. Yeah, which was the expressionistic, figurative expressionistic. Yes, until that period, and then in the period that I'm painting right now is abstract painting. Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now, purely abstract paintings.
I was there for obviously I was there for the your evolution as a visual artist, and I remember your art looking less and less like inspirations that you had when you began painting, and then more the unraveling of Frank Polanco, the artist. And yeah, it went from the brown period of, I remember that I was like 16 or something in high school, and a lot of the embodiment of you bringing Christopher and I over here, and Mom, and having to work so hard to support us or whatever. And then after that, you went to blocks.
Yes,
about
true.
Building foundation.
Yes, it was a tough period. Yes, a very tough period, and all of that came into my painting. You see, all those experiences really came into my painting. Yes, I was identifying, like I said, with my, my brothers, Dominican brothers, but myself too. I was seeing myself, because in a way that painting is a way for me, that you really connect with yourself, and then when you're connecting with yourself, you connect with others. I mean, you really put on canvas what you're going through. Besides, what is out there that you're using, in a way is influencing you too. World events, but basically more of what you're going through. And it was a tough period too for me, and it was a period that I was using browns, ochre colors, and there was no way that through what I was going through and through the way I was perceiving aesthetically, the world, in my world, there was no way to use color. It was just brown, and dryness, and nothing that exactly, because it was tough. So it's a tough period. So that's why I value much those brown paintings, because they tell a lot about the time period that I was living. My kids, and I guess that my son got a little emotional because, and it's true. My paintings are full of that. If you look at my paintings, they're full of a lot of emotions that I have gone through, and that's the life of the artist. And really, it's internalizing that, and being able to use color and shape and form on the canvas to discover yourself, and discover the world around you, and to really find and to the true value of things. You see, the true value of yourself, the true value of others, you know, to notice more that person is next to you, either your son, you know, or your wife, or that person, that colleague at work, you know, noticing better, you know, giving that person more value. So it's about noticing, you know, here I am, yes, and, you know, looking at people, you know, in that way. Para mí ser la pintura es ser un proceso donde usted se descubre usted mismo, donde usted realmente valora, aprende a valorizarse, no tan solamente usted mismo, sino a los demás. Usted valoriza, ¿verdad?, un hijo, ese hijo que está cerca de usted, que usted casi no lo nota. Usted valoriza, ¿verdad?, a su esposa más. Usted valoriza, ¿verdad?, las personas, ¿verdad?, que forman parte de su mundo diario, como en el trabajo. Usted aprende a valorizar más. Y para eso, ¿verdad?, la pintura a mí me ha servido para eso, ¿verdad?, para yo encontrar la esencia, ¿verdad?, del valor, el valor real de las cosas, ¿verdad?, para ser más un ser humano mejor ser humano, y así poder valorizar más a las personas que me rodean también. So that's has been something that painting have helped me a lot in that terms, in all those terms. Yes, so that you know, that period was very, very meaningful. Yes, and that's when then after that we got to move, right, to the house that we are right now in Yonkers, which is an awesome place,
yeah.
And which I always dreamed of, having this place for my kids, you know, where they could grow and they could continue to grow and develop, and, you know, be together. And that has been like a laboratory, you know, where many great things have developed there. So, you know, my son's company, you guys, you know, BROTOPIA, and in a space where I continue to produce art there, you know. So that's where I began again to use color. Color came in my life again there, so you know, color came in my life again, and I started to paint the figurative, you know, expressionistic type of paintings, which the public's going to have an opportunity to look at too. Which I started to paint them, you know, when I moved. It's a change of mood, really, because that the artist sometimes needs that. Monet did it. I mean, Van Gogh. Most artists, contemporary artists, you know, the places that you move really influence, you know, your art too. Because it's about that too. So moving to that new place there, really, where my painting was influenced, got a new mood. Sí, cuando me mudé de ahí de Manhattan para la casa actual que tenemos en Yonkers, terminó, ¿verdad?, ese periodo de los ocres en mi vida, y empezaron los colores de nuevo. Empecé, ¿verdad?, a pintar pinturas figurativas, expresionistas. Y nada, es importante, ¿verdad?, porque le ha pasado a muchos artistas, a Monet, a Van Gogh, a muchos otros artistas contemporáneos, que cuando se mudan de un sitio a otro, eso también causa influencia en su pintura, ¿verdad? Que entonces, pues a mí también, estar en ese sitro, pues cambió la atmósfera de mis cuadros, de mis obras. Empecé a usar más colores, entré en una etapa figurativa, ¿verdad?, expresionista. A usar más colores, entré en una etapa figurativa, ¿verdad?, expresionista, donde van a ver algunos cuadros también, obras que voy a compartir con el público también, para que puedan ser apreciadas también.
Let's talk a little bit about the abstract pieces. When you started to get back into color, and it was these very serene blues that began to surround our home.
Well, can you translate it?
Yeah. Habla un poquito de lo
las obras
sí,
abstractas.
de las obras azules y verde y ese color. That's pretty good, man.
See, it was a time that I went abstract, and that's what I'm painting right now. My style evolved. Like I said, I'm an artist that tries to compenetrate with reality. I like to discover. I like to explore, so I like to have the freedom to do this. And when I go down to my basement, is where I have my studio, I descend down to another world. I mean, a world that's free, a world in which I could express myself. So what way better than, doing abstracts? So that's, I started to paint those abstract paintings in which I used the color palette, which was those blues and the greens, like I said, influenced by the place where I was, living in a new place, and these blues and greens were some way for me to be, to meditate, be very reflective. So there are colors that express those feelings of being very doing in the form in which I meditate a lot about my circumstances and where I'm placed really, and that's why I started to do that and to explore more myself. And to connect, again, with the world out there, and using my imagination for that in this new habitat, which I'm placed.
I also remember my first and my second lesson that he taught me how to paint. También me recuerdo de la primera y la segunda lección que también diste. And I was working in the basement, estaba trabajando en el sótano. Y tú me dijiste, la primera lección fue cómo pintar un paisaje. And then the second one was...
What was the first lesson?
The first one was how to paint a landscape, and then the second lesson was how to construct a canvas. Cómo hacer una lencia. How do you say that?
Un lienzo, sí.
Sí, es un lienzo. Entonces, yeah, speaking of the basement, I remember my first two lessons that you showed me, or you gave me. Hablando del sótano, me recuerdo de la primera y la segunda lecciones que te me diste. And the first one was how to paint a landscape. La primera fue cómo pintar un paisaje. And the second one was how to construct a canvas, cómo hacer